Warm fall light. Gloves on. You're standing beside a raised bed with a stool, a kneeler, and a long-handled rake already in view. They tell men our age to slow down. Take it easy. Don't lift too much. Watch the knees. Watch the back. Watch the blood pressure. Watch the energy. And before long, a lot of guys give up the very thing that could help keep them moving in the first place. The garden. But what if fall gardening didn't have to feel like punishment? What if the plants we put in the ground today could come back year after year, ask very little from us, and still give us something useful for the kitchen and for overall health? That's what this video is about. Not gardening harder, gardening smarter. Today I'm showing you 5 perennial or recurring plants that make a lot of sense for men over 60, low-fuss crops, strong nutrition stories, and planting methods that don't require you to spend all day bent over in the dirt. Rhubarb is a hardy perennial vegetable. Horseradish is a hardy perennial herb. Artichokes can be grown as perennials in suitable climates. Egyptian walking onions return from topsets. And chives are hardy perennials in the onion family. Engagement and why now? And before we plant anything, tell me this in the comments. What's the one thing slowing you down in the garden right now? The knees? The back? The time? Or honestly, just the energy? Because I want this video to feel like I'm right here with you, helping you set up a garden that works with your body, not against it. And fall is the right moment for this. Cooler weather is easier on you, easier on the soil, and for several of these plants, it gives the roots a head start before next spring. The no-strain setup. Before we get to plant number 1, here's the rule for the whole video. We are not trying to prove anything. If you need a stool, use the stool. If you need a kneeler, use the kneeler. If you need to plant 1 crown today and 1 tomorrow, perfect. The biggest mistake I see older gardeners make is not picking the wrong plant. It's working until they hurt. So I want you to think in systems. Stool close by, tools close by, compost in a bucket close by, and every planting job broken into small, easy steps. That's how you keep gardening longer. Plant 1. Rhubarb, the joint saver crop. First up is rhubarb. This is one of my favorite plant it and let it earn its place crops for a 60-plus garden because once it's settled in, it's about as close as you get to a perennial food workhorse. Rhubarb is a perennial vegetable hardy enough for cold climate gardens, and Extension Guidance recommends well-drained soil plus generous organic matter or compost. And nutrition-wise, rhubarb brings more to the table than people give it credit for. Extension nutrition sources describe it as a source of fiber and vitamin K, and NIH says vitamin K is important for healthy bones. Now here's the planting trick. Don't dig a deep hole. Dig a wide one. You want room for the crown to settle into loosened soil, but you do not want to bury it way down. Rhubarb crowns are generally planted with the buds about 1 to 2 inches below the soil surface in well-drained ground. This is the sweet spot right here. Too deep, and the crown is more likely to stay wet and struggle. Too shallow, and in colder climates it can heave or dry out. So I'm planting it just a little below the surface, then adding compost around it. Not because compost is magic, but because rhubarb likes a rich, living soil. UMN Extension recommends supplementing with rich compost or balanced fertility because rhubarb is a heavy feeder. And one important note for older viewers, if you take warfarin or similar blood thinners, don't suddenly make big swings in vitamin K-rich foods without checking with your clinician. NIH says the key is keeping vitamin K intake consistent, because sudden changes can affect how warfarin works. Rhubarb is the kind of plant I love in a low-strain garden. It likes the cold. It comes back. And once established, it gives you a big return for 1 careful planting session. Plant 2. Horseradish, the plant at once powerhouse. Next is horseradish. Now this one is for the man who likes a plant with some attitude. Horseradish is a hardy perennial in the cabbage family, and like other cruciferous vegetables, it contains glucosinolates, the sulfur compounds that give these plants their pungent aroma and bite. I'm not going to oversell it as medicine, but I will say this. If you want a bold, useful crop that wakes up a meal and keeps giving, horseradish belongs in the conversation. Here's the easy method, the slant plant. UMN Extension says horseradish sets can be planted vertically or at about a 45-degree angle and then covered with 2 to 3 inches of soil. I like the angled method because it makes future lifting easier and keeps the whole job simple. So I'm not digging a giant trench. I'm making a planting hole, sliding the set in at an angle, and covering it. That's it. And here's your energy-saving tip. contain it. Horseradish can spread aggressively. So if you plant it in open ground without a plan, future you may spend more time chasing roots than harvesting them. Extension guidance flat out notes the plant needs management and that root pieces regrow readily. So if you want the benefits without the headache, plant it where you can control it. A buried bucket, a dedicated box, or a contained strip. This is one of those plants that fits the over 60 garden perfectly. Small planting effort now, flavorful payoff later, minimal fuss in between. Plant 3. Artichokes, the big space, big payoff plant. Third is artichoke. Now this one is not the smallest plant on the list, but if you've got the room, it earns attention. Artichokes need sun, excellent drainage, and space. Oregon State says to give them 3 to 5 feet, and artichokes can be grown as short-lived perennials in suitable climates. They also dislike waterlogged soil, and winter mulch is often recommended in areas with harsh winters. This is where I use the mound method. For older gardeners, drainage is not some abstract gardening theory. Drainage is insurance. So I build a low mound, plant on top of that mound, and let gravity help me out through wet spells. Artichokes prefer well-drained soils, and OSU specifically flags excellent drainage as important. Plant, firm in, mulch around base. Then I mulch around the base like a blanket, but not smothering the crown. That mulch helps conserve moisture and buffer the root zone. Utah State recommends heavily mulching artichokes to conserve soil moisture and reduce weed growth. Nutrition-wise, artichokes are worth the room. Extension sources describe them as fiber-rich and high in antioxidants, with vitamin C and vitamin K among their nutrients. But this is where I want to be honest with your audience. Enjoy them as a nutritious food, not as a miracle cure. XI says research findings do not show clear evidence that artichoke extract lowers cholesterol. That honesty makes the script stronger. Because trust wins. Plant 4. Egyptian walking onions, the easiest crop in the whole video. Now for the easiest plant in this entire garden. Egyptian walking onions. If you've never grown them, they almost feel like a prank. They grow top sets at the top of the stalk. Those top sets bend over, root where they land, and that's how the patch walks. Human Extension says the top set bulbs are the way to start them. The bulbs can be planted as soon as top sets are available, and they should be pressed into the soil about 1 to 2 inches deep and spaced about 6 inches apart. So here's my favorite planting method for these. Toss and tuck. No trench. No heavy digging. No complicated setup. Just press them into prepared soil, point up, cover lightly, and move on. That's it. These are especially great for older gardeners because they give you options. Greens like scallions, small top sets, underground bulbs, and a plant that wants to keep returning. Human notes the leaves, top sets, and underground bulbs are all edible. And from the nutrition side, onions are low in calories and provide vitamin C and fiber. Vitamin C supports immune function, and onion family vegetables also bring a wider phytonutrient story people appreciate as they age. If you want a crop that makes you feel clever every time you harvest it, this is it. Plant 5. Chives, the low-effort, high-return closer. Chives are hardy perennials in the onion family. They grow in clumps, and they are one of the easiest edible perennials to keep productive in a small space. Maryland and Illinois extension sources both describe them as hardy perennials that grow in clumps and do best in sun and well-drained soil. This is a perfect over 60 garden plant because the work-to-reward ratio is excellent. You divide a clump, replant a section, water it in, and after that, it mostly becomes a snip-and-go crop. Some extension sources note clumps can be divided in fall or early spring, which makes this a nice add-on if you're already refreshing beds in autumn. Health angle? I'd keep it simple and credible. It's another allium, so it fits the same small amounts, frequent use, real food pattern as onions and scallions. And for a man who's trying to cook at home more, chives make it easier to add flavor without leaning so hard on salty packaged stuff. Sometimes the healthiest plant is the one you actually use all the time. The no-bend mulching and recovery plan. Now let's talk about what makes all 5 of these easier to succeed with. Mulch. And I mean a real mulch layer, not a decorative sprinkle. A good mulch helps conserve moisture, reduces weeds, softens winter temperature swings, and cuts down on how often you have to kneel, weed, and fuss. Extension guidance for several of these crops specifically recommends straw, compost, or organic mulch for moisture control and winter protection. This is also where I want to give one coaching point to the men watching this. Do not work until you hurt. If you plant one rhubarb crown today and come back tomorrow for the horseradish, that is not weakness. That is how you stay in the game. Because fall planting is not a race. It's a setup. You are doing work now so spring you can do less. So here's the big takeaway. If you want a garden that supports you as much as you support it, start choosing plants that come back, plants that earn their space, and planting methods that respect your body. Rhubarb for the long game. Horseradish for punch and persistence. Artichokes if you've got room and drainage. Walking onions for almost effortless return. And chives for that easy, everyday harvest. These are not miracle plants. They are better than that. They are practical plants. And practical is what keeps you gardening. If this helped, hit like. And in the comments, tell me which of these 5 you'd actually plant first. Because I'd love to know what your fall pharmacy bed is going to look like.